We're going to go over some problems that are from the factoring portion of it, and I'm actually going to give you 2 solutions of the homework that you guys are doing, okay? So let's go over number 7, okay? Number 7 has x squared plus 14x plus 24, and I'm going to set this equal to 0 because I want to figure out the zeros, okay? Just remember, this is where it crosses the x-axis. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this formula, the quadratic formula. So it's be negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now all you have to do is just identify what a, b, and c are. So here I'm going to put 1 in for a because the number here is 1, and the number for b is 14, and for c is 24. Okay? So all we're going to do is here is replace. So b is 14, so I'm going to put a negative 14 because the negative is part of the formula. I'm going to put plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 14 squared, minus 4 times a, which is a is 1, times c, which is 24. And then we're going to divide that by 2 times a, so a is 1. And then we're going to go ahead and simplify a little further, okay? So it's going to be negative 14 plus or minus the square root, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to simplify the inner portion of it by squaring 14, which is 196. And 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 24, what is 4 times 24? Times 24 is 96. So minus 96 over 2. Okay, so we get negative 14 plus or minus, and then the square root of 196 minus 96 is 100 over 2. Okay, and then lastly we're going to simplify a little further. So the square root of 100 is 10, so plus or minus 10 over 2, and then this has 2 answers, okay? So it's going to be negative 14 plus 10 over 2, and negative 14 minus 10 over 2. So here it's going to be negative 4, sorry, this is a negative 4 over 2, which is a negative 2, and negative 14 minus 10 is negative 24, divided by 2 is negative 12. So these are your 2 answers. This is where it would cross the x-axis. Had we graphed this original function, it would cross the x-axis here and there. Okay, negative 2 and 12, negative 12. All right, the next one is number 8. Number 8, we have m squared plus 17m plus 72 is equal to 0, okay? So we're going to set this equal to 0 so we can solve for m. We're going to use the quadratic formula again, so it's x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, okay? Identify your a, b, and c. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 17, and c is equal to 72. So let's go ahead and plug in. So it's going to be negative b, so it's negative 17, plus or minus the square root of 17 squared minus 4 times a is 1, c is 72, over 2 times a is 1. Okay, and then we're going to simplify that a little further. Alright, so let's go ahead and simplify this. So we have negative 17, and then we have 17 squared, which is 289. So plus or minus the square root of 289. And then 4 times 1 times 72 is 288. And since only one's negative, we'll be subtracting over 2. So here we're going to simplify, so negative 17 plus or minus, this is going to be 1, so the square root of 1 over 2, and the square root of 1 is 1, so negative 17 plus or minus 1 over 2. So here we're going to have 2 answers. We're going to have negative 17 plus 1 over 2, and we're going to have negative 17 minus 1 over 2. So this is negative 16 divided by 2, which is negative 8, so that's one answer. And here we have negative 18 divided by 2, which is negative 9. Okay,